Hi, welcome to my channel. My name is Lindsay. I'm a watercolour artist. In today's video, I'm going to be showing you the art supplies you need to get started with watercolours. You don't have to have these particular items that I've got, but I'm going to be showing you the supplies that I use and also supplies that I love. I'm also going to be showing you some more affordable options. So I hope you like this video. If you do, give me a like. It helps my channel to grow. Also, if you want to learn more about watercolours and you enjoy watercolour painting, I would love to have you as a subscriber. It is free. All you need to do is press the red subscribe button, and that means you won't miss any future videos from me. Let's get stuck straight in, and I hope you enjoy it. So first of all, let's talk about paints, and I've got a few different paints. So I started off with these paints here. So these are by Windsor and Neptune, and I just got these from a local an art shop, and these were really affordable. I think they were like something like £20, maybe a little bit less than that. They were all the colours that I needed to get started with watercolours. You can see they're really well used. What I love about this as well, it came with a tin palette, so you've got your mixing palettes within the palette as well. If you're a beginner and on a budget, I would recommend this little set. My favourite set is this one. This is Windsor and Neptune Cotman range, and honestly, I know they're the same brand, but the difference in quality I noticed straight away, and I love this. I'm sticking to Windsor and Neptune Cotman brands now because I love their paints so much. This is a 45 half pan set, and a half pan just basically means these little rectangles full of paint, and these last ages. I've had this set now for about a year, and I paint every single day with these. This set I got from Amazon. I love it. You've got your mixing palettes. I have got another mixing palette which I've taken off actually, but you've got another mixing palette at the bottom with this as well, and I just use this all the time. You've got so many colours in here. You'll also need some sort of palette to mix on. You can buy these really cheap ones. I got this one from an art store, and what I do is I leave my paints on the palette like this, and then I can reactivate them with water so you don't get any paint wastage. But these are so easy to wash. I can easily just wash this even though the paint is dried on this. And I think this was like £2.50, so really cheap. You can get them from Amazon, art supply stores really easily. I also got this big set from Amazon as well, so it's a big palette, and to be honest, it is not my favourite because when I pop the paint onto the palette, the paint sort of just dwindles away. I don't really like it, to be honest, but I did buy this from my tube palettes. But I have heard a few artists saying that tin palettes are better, and when I used this tin palette, I did see a massive difference. I do prefer using the tin, so if you're gonna splash out on a palette, then I would recommend a tin one. But you can use an old plate. A lot of people use ceramic plates. You can use a tile as well, or the lid of a food box. You'll also need water, and you can use whatever you've got, but I'm using old food jars. So these are just pasta sauce jars that I've washed out really well, and I use two because I use one to really wash my brushes off, and this one gets really dirty, and then I'll use this one for either my clean water or for an extra rinse to make sure that my brush is really clean. You can use an old cup, a bowl. Some people use a bucket. It is completely up to you, whatever you've got. But I would definitely suggest using 2 containers or a really large container, so you're not swapping and changing your water really frequently. You'll also need a selection of paint brushes. It depends on your budget which ones you go for and which brand you go for. I've got a few different brands, and I'll talk about these now. If you're on a budget and you're a beginner, I would recommend these Windsor and Neptune Cotman brushes. These are the brushes that I started painting with, and honestly, I think these are lovely quality. I've been using these for about 18 months now. They can be a little bit hard, so sometimes they can lift your paint, and I actually use these for lifting my paints now because they are really springy and bouncy, but they're lovely to paint with. I would definitely recommend these, like I said, if you're on a budget and you're a beginner. You can also buy packs of really cheap watercolour brushes from most art stores, but to be honest, I wouldn't personally recommend them because I just don't think the shapes are very nice. They don't hold a lot of water. I get really frustrated because the shape doesn't stay nice and things like that, and you have all the bristles sort of splaying, and I just don't get really nice results. So I think if you can just spend a little bit extra on your brushes for good quality brushes that you're not going to get frustrated with and give up so easily, I would definitely recommend that. I also recommend Princeton Neptune brushes. I got these from Amazon. They're lovely quality. They are synthetic brushes, but they are lovely and springy and soft and round and pointed. So I really love working with these, but they are really affordable as well. I think in particular this brush probably cost me £5 or £6, and then the prices go down depending on how small the brush is. So I've got a size 0, a 4 and a 6 in this particular range. I also love the Da Vinci range. These can be quite pricey. I paid £15 for each brush. So it all depends on how big the brush is and how much you spend. This is a size 10 and this is a size 12. So the bigger the brush, the more expensive it is going to be. So this one is a Da Vinci Cosmo top. And this is the first time I've used this. I would recommend this. I really like it. It's great for getting big washes or filling in big areas really quickly. This one I love. It's a Da Vinci Casaneo and I love it. It is lovely. You can get really fine points with this as well. So although you can use it for big areas, it does come nicely pointed as well. Although it's not as pointed as some of the brushes I'm going to show you in a minute. I would definitely recommend this one. And my favourite brushes are the Silver Black Velvet range, and I got these from Amazon, so I'll link these down below for you. I've got a range of different sizes. This one is a script brush and it's a size 8. This one's a size 6 and this is probably my most used brush. I love it. I can get really good control with this. It comes to a really fine point as well, so I can do really tiny details with this as well. So I'm not having to swap and change my brush too often. I love this brush. It is like my best friend. I've also got a size 10. So this is a slightly larger brush, but you can see that with the larger brushes they do come to a very, very fine point as well. So I can also use this to get into the fine details, and the quality on these brushes are absolutely amazing. They hold a large amount of water, so I'm not constantly having to dip my brush into my water, and I can get some really, really nice control with this. You'll also need watercolor paper. My favorite is by Arches and it's a cold pressed paper. I do particularly like cold pressed paper because it's more textured and I can get some really nice wet on wet techniques with cold pressed. It also stays wet for longer as well, so I really like that. I can sort of work longer on a cold pressed paper. This paper is 100% cotton, so it's lovely to work on, and I would recommend this paper. It's my absolute favourite. A lot of artists use this as well because it's just really good quality. But if you're a beginner, I wouldn't go with the Arches because it can be quite pricey. You can get some really affordable papers, and the paper that I started with and still use to this day is the Daler and Rowney watercolour paper, and I use that mainly for practicing now, but I did get some lovely paintings with that when I first started painting. I usually use cold pressed in the Daler and Rowney, but this one in particular is a hot pressed one. So with hot pressed it is smoother. It looks more like drawing paper, but it's thick, so it's kind of like thick card. You can get some really nice results with hot press, but it's not my favourite. So I'll link some papers down below for you that I particularly like and that I think are really good value for money as well. You'll also need a pencil for drawing your outlines. So if you're going to pop a design down onto the paper first, use a pencil. I would use a hard lead pencil like a H or a HB. This one is a 4B, and that's because I scribble over the back of my designs. If I print something off and I want to pop it down onto my paper, I will scribble over the back of my design, and then I can go over and trace the outline of my drawing, and that will transfer that onto my watercolor paper then. I also use a mechanical pencil a lot because it's a hard lead pencil. It's really easy to erase if I just press quite softly with this, and I love it. I use this for transferring my outlines as well. So I would definitely recommend a mechanical pencil. These are really affordable. I got this particular one, I think, from Amazon, so we'll see if I can find it for you. You'll also need an eraser, so I just got this one. This is a Staedtler eraser, and I got this from, I can't even remember, I've had it for such a long time. I think I got it from an art supply store. It's also a good idea to use a putty rubber. That you can press this down onto your pencil and lift some of the graphite without rubbing at the paper. You'll also need something for blotting off your paintbrushes. So when you paint, you don't want your paintbrush dripping wet, so you need something to blot the water onto. And I use a cloth that I can pop into the washing machine. I've got loads of these. These are actually burp cloths. You can use a microfiber cloth if you've got any of those. Paper towel I use quite a lot. And an optional extra is some masking tape. So I get this Unibond one from Amazon. I'll link it down below for you. This is great for taping down your designs or giving your designs a little border. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you do, give me a thumbs up. Also, if you've got any questions, comment in the comments box below. Have a lovely rest of your day, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.